What's up, friends, family, and other creatures from the sea? We're going to be having a look at a game played between ShoWTimE and Lambo. Two German players. One is a Zerg, one is a Protoss. If you add Hero Marine in this game, we'd have the perfect German trifecta. Very high-level players. I don't think... And well, ShoWTimE probably is the best European Protoss. Perhaps even the best foreigner Protoss. It might be better than me. Lambo is definitely a top 3 European Zerg, and because of that, probably a top 3 foreign Zerg. And Hero Marine, I think, is the second best foreigner Terran player. Probably slightly above Special, slightly below Clam. People like Sol and Eternal a little bit below that. Perhaps Marine Lords in there somewhere as well in the mix. So a little bit of an interesting game here against some of the top European players. Lambo, known for his tight timings, his big brain, of course helped Rainer win the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, acting as his coach and helping him out where he could. Rainer actually ended up winning that Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, giving Lambo a shout out in basically every single interview that he ever did. So Lambo definitely has the brains. The question is, does he have the mechanics? Holy crap, what? Was it 3,500? Look at that! The APM! 3.5 to 4.4. 4.4k APM. Now, for the people wondering at home, is it possible to click 4,400 keys on your keyboard? Can you actually have 4,400 actions per minute? The answer is obviously no. And the thing that Zerg players have is they increased the repeat rate on their keyboard to times, I think, 64 or times 32, which means that every keystroke, if you hold in a key for a little bit, it counts as like 100 or 200 keystrokes immediately for half a second. And then they have the ability called rapid fire on a lot of different hotkeys as well. So for spreading creep, for building units, so you can build Zerglings and drones as fast as possible. And they use this. So this is why Zerg players always have the highest APM. It's because their APM is almost always inflated. A lot of Zergs even have the rapid fire on move commands, so that they can easily retarget their workers on minerals if they're being harassed. It's one of the things that they do. And with that high repeat rate, that makes it, I mean, an average of 1,000 APM is not very realistic, of course. It's not, I mean, he actually had 4.5k APM earlier, which is very high and also physically impossible, unless you're a bot. So, for humans, actually impossible. You see ShoWTimE opening up with a 2 Adept Shaden into the main base. Gonna be probably cancelling this, yeah. That's what I thought. Gonna get at least 3 drones here. Probably gonna no, 3 drones. We'll get 2 links as well. If he micros correctly, did not micro correctly, he's only gonna get a single link here. 3 drones and a link for 2 Adepts is an equal trade. Usually, also was a full drone pool though, so I guess slightly better for ShoWTimE here. Usually, if you kill 3 workers without the drone pool, it's about equal. If you kill 4 workers, you're slightly up. But because of the drone pool added onto it, I think it does mean that it's a slight advantage here for ShoWTimE. These trades, these little trades are good. It would be very important for him to actually get this Nexus down ASAP as well. Went for 4 Adepts before Warp Gate actually, so sacrificing 2 Adepts not the biggest deal. Still allows himself a little bit of map control. He's going to follow this up with 2 gateways, and I think it's going to be triple Oracle, right? Yep. Looks a whole lot like triple Oracle. We will warp in at least 2 more Adepts later on as well to really get some pressure on the map, or at least he tends to do that with this triple Oracle opener. He's going to go into gases here as well. Now the question is, will he get some type of tech, or will he warp in 2 more Adepts? That's the first question. If he wants to get some type of tech, that potentially could be something like a robotics facility, could be something like a Forged Twilight. We see a Roadhorn coming out of Lambo. Lambo, of course, someone who loves the... Oh, Lambo's actually losing a couple of workers here for free. It's not quite what you want. Skipping Spores at both his... Well, I guess this was his natural base, because this got blocked, if I recall correctly. No, he actually did have this base as his natural, didn't he? Didn't get blocked this game. Odd start. Odd opener here. ShoWTimE's gonna save these 3 Adepts. These 2 Oracles are still looking for damage. Robo, Forge, and another gateway, 3rd gateway going down here. Adding a little bit of safety against potential queen walks. Going to be going up to 3 gas for now. Lair and an Evo chamber. And the moment we see the Evo chamber as a Protoss player, we're happy. Because we have a good feeling about this. That feeling is that most likely we're not going to get queen walked. So, yeah, ShoWTimE definitely going to be quite happy seeing this. With Oracle openers, you're always kind of afraid of that. I think he did notice that there's an Evo chamber. Wouldn't be surprised if he just throws down the Twilight Council. Yep. And straight up goes in. Oh my god, 6 overlords though. Maybe it is roaches? Or is this just the biggest supply block of all? Yeah, it's just a supply block. Oh wow, that was a huge supply block there for Lambo. And I'm building slightly too many slightly too many overlords as well. It's gonna cut into his eco a little bit. Right now he has 7 larvae available. Can't even make use of all of them. Still 4 larvae left over. Because he spent so much in overlords. Look at that. 87 out of 122. It's kind of painful. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE at 97 out of 109. Robotics Bay as well as a Twilight Council going down. We see an Immortal being pumpered out as well. Ooh, is that going to be a Stasis Ward? What is this? Oh, he's just going to scout into the main base. Look at that. The absolute the diligence of ShoWTimE is beautiful to observe though. If I was actually observing properly. ShoWTimE does see the infestation pit. And with that information we'll most likely be able to deduct that this indeed is going to be Swarm Host. After Lambo got scouted, he says, no Swarm Host. I'm on 75 workers already. I'm going to be playing Lurkers here. Creep Threat is looking mighty fine, by the way. Here comes a little move out of ShoWTimE. Let's see what he has in store for us. Throws down a Revelation on these Creep Tumors. Observer as well here. Stasis Wards will allow for a safe retreat. Some of these queens are falling pretty low. Oracle so powerful against links. Look at this beautiful force. Oh my god, missed 1 force field. That was perfect. Then he could have gotten a lot of links. This is such a good defense out of Lambo. I'd like to... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I kind of like to highlight that. How good this defense was. Lambo not overmaking any units. Look how tight his defense was here. With 8 roaches, a single Ravager and 10 links, he got ShoWTimE to walk back home. Still at 84 workers. Going to be going up to 87 workers. And a 5th base surely is in the works here. Yep, here we go. ShoWTimE was looking for a kill here. Doesn't get it. So Lambo is a little bit too fast. What a great start here for Lambo, who really is showing why this is his specialty. This matchup is his best matchup. And he's showing that right here. Such a good player in the early game, lots of knowledge, knows exactly how many units he needs. Sometimes lacking a little bit in the execution, but man, today isn't that day. Today definitely isn't that day. Roaches, Ravagers pushing forward and dodge the Disruptor Shot. Disruptor Shot gets nothing, not even a Creep Tumor. Yet I'm not going to be too happy with that. Prism makes its way towards the far right side. Perhaps a single DT is going to be heading in towards this, was this the 4th base? I think it was the 4th base. Sends in the Prism as well, so it's going to be a pickup. Cute little move here. Overseer sees the DT. DT will slash a single drone and hop straight back to Ire into the Prism. Oracle patrolling a random area of the map, making sure nothing can get past. You shall not go to my 4th base unspotted. That's what that Oracle says. As he throws down a Stasis Ward, moves forward. This is one of the cool things that ShoWTimE does. Is whenever he's attacking, he uses these early game Oracles to put down Stasis. So if the attack doesn't go well, he has a semi-safe retreat towards these Stasis Wards. He can always fall back on them. So he clears a little bit of creep, throws a couple of Disruptor Shots and moves back towards this Stasis Ward. Such a great way to play this game. Is there Vipers out yet? No, not yet. Lambo surely must be working towards them. I wouldn't mind if he gets gas 9 and 10 as well. Lurker plays always very, very difficult to do only on 8 gases. You just don't have the gas for it. There we go. Gas 9 and 10 are going down right now. Lambo once again supply block. A little bit sloppy. Probably lost an Overlord or something. Not quite sure how else you get this supply blocked. Floating a lot of money because of that as well. ShoWTimE's adding a couple of Archons from DTs. It's getting a Templar Archives. Already saying, hey, I know what you're going to do. I know that you like to get into Vipers from here. And you kind of need to get into Vipers or the Disruptors are simply going to be too powerful. Adaptive Talents is what it's called. Yep. Not quite finished yet. So the Umbro is not going to be too quick. Lambo needs to be very careful. A lot of lurkers are running low here. Lots of Archons in this army as well. And +2 is about to finish up. We do have a Roach run by here. The 3 DTs and actually 4 DTs and a couple of Zealots will be able to clean this up. ShoWTimE moving in right now. Disruptors are taking a beating, but so are these lurkers. Lambo's army is getting pushed back in a massive way here, and ShoWTimE wants to keep pushing. There is a Prism joining up as well. I'm not quite sure if ShoWTimE needs to go up this ramp. I think the answer is no. A couple of Disruptor shots not quite hitting. No Observer with this army means that ShoWTimE can't necessarily see where everything is. Oh no, actually there is an Observer with this army, but for how much longer? Well, still for a little bit at least. Lambo not quite taking it out. There we go. Oracle and Observer go down. And now there really is no detection left. ShoWTimE needs to run away, while Lambo's trying to catch his tail. 5th base gonna go down. I would have loved to see that 5th base go down during this attack rather than after the attack. Right now is a moment in which Lambo can decide to set up another run by towards that 5th base or towards anything. While during the attack it's often very difficult to do something like that. Disruptors once again moving forward. Still not a single Viper on the map. I want to call that an error out of Lambo. Vipers, of course, the natural enemy of the Protoss army, especially when there's Disruptors and Archons in there, not a single Templar. Storm has finished up and the ability is there, the possibility, I should say, for ShoWTimE to get the 1 or 2 Templar in his army is there. Disruptor shots, yep, will allow ShoWTimE to move back freely. Here's that run by being set up out of Lambo, beautiful move. Forcing his opponent off the map, and lurkers in aggressive positions are so powerful, and Lambo is looking for them. These Templar do not have Storm yet. How far away are they? 55. They've just been warped in. 5 Zealots are being warped in here. Super Battery gets activated, but Lambo moves forward aggressively. Is our good friend ShoWTimE going to be able to break this position? Perhaps with some good Disruptor shots. 1, 2. We'll be able to get 2 lurkers there for free. There's still a single shot left. This gets 1 lurker, a couple of roaches. Lambo gives up this position. I'm not sure if he had to. He's taking out the 5th base. I think he could have stayed here. There were no Disruptor shots. Single Immortal. There still were so many lurkers here. I think Lambo could have finished the game. I think he misunderstands his position a little bit here. He's getting +3 attack. He's getting +2 carapace as well. I think he could have stood there for a little bit until the next Disruptor shots at least. Still not a single Viper on the map here for Lambo, and that is painful. What an aggressive game here. What an exciting game of PvZ today here. Where both players want to be on the map, want to be aggressive and dealing damage to their opponent. Lambo with a couple of spines defensively, making sure that run-bys can't hit him. Armies are split, no Overseer with this army. Meaning that Observers potentially could spot a lot. Ooh, these 2 Changelings are worth their weight in gold right now. Changelings known to be pretty light as well, so it's actually not that valuable. ShoWTimE trying to rotate back into a defensive position. Disruptors need to get in the proper location. Wouldn't mind a Zealot warp in here heading towards this base or towards his left side base while this is happening. Prism gets sent out probably just for that. Disruptor shots moving in. Lambo not with the cleanest split. Still not a single Viper in this army. We'll be able to take out this 5th base, moves forward and looks to go for the kill. Lots of lurkers. How many are 15 lurkers in this army? +3 is about to finish. Oh my god, that was a huge shot. Killed 2 lurkers there. Another shot takes out a couple of Hydras. The movement here, Lambo, is like a seasoned mech player, leapfrogging those lurkers forward bit by bit. But at high speed still. There we go. More lurkers coming from that left bottom side. We have the Prism here on the left as well. 190 supply for Lambo still. With a huge bank. Still not a single Viper has been built in this game. Yep, no Viper. Unit loss looking very similar. Storms raining down on top of them lurkers. 18 workers have gone down. And here, what? This is DTs. They don't have DT blink either. They're going for a kill here. And I think they're gonna get it as well. We'll just be right-clicking this base rather than taking... No, goes for the spore first. Right-click the base and then you'll need to recall. ShoWTimE, we need a recall here. Beautiful recall, gets everything but... No, actually gets everything, I think. Almost everything home. Right now, this also allows ShoWTimE to move on the map. And in Lurker versus Disruptor, the aggressor often is the one that is winning. So... it is on the defender to get some counter-aggression in and then get an offensive position, because lurkers defending are just sitting ducks basically. Disruptors doing a lot of damage. These Zealots are taking out a lot of the drones here on the bottom side as well, and Lambo losing a little bit of momentum in this game right now. ShoWTimE managing to secure a base on the far left side. 62 workers against 57. Lambo probably should be rebuilding a couple of workers here. And sending out some type of counterattack. I'm still surprised we haven't seen a single Viper in this army. This is one of the most intense PvZs I've seen in a long time. Constant action, constant fighting. Absolutely beautiful game here. Disruptor's trying to move back as Lambo goes for another aggressive rotation. Exactly what he needs. Gets into a very good position here. Disruptors are trying to walk into that position. 2 lurkers will go down for free, and running up this ramp is going to be difficult. These lurkers are a little bit too clumped up in my opinion. Too easy to hit with disruptors. Disruptor count is still relatively big. There's no Overseer here with this army, is there? Okay, Overseer shows up. Lambo realizing the danger he's in. This is a great move out of ShoWTimE. Realizing he's probably gonna lose a lot in the main base. Probably gonna lose a lot everywhere. Oh my god. This might be an issue here for Lambo. Lambo is just giving up a large part of his army while these zealots are going ham on the other side. And Lambo does end up killing the wall, but I don't think he's gonna get too much else. As long, well, these disruptors are not actually helping. Storms perhaps will be able to assist in cleaning up these roaches. Single cannon is going to do a little bit of damage. Another big zealot warp in. Lambo still with a huge bang. Will be able to clean this up eventually. But Lambo's already looking at his next target, and it's this left side fort base here. There's a bunch of lurkers still remaining in this army. There's enough larvae as well. Lambo really needs to rebuild some of these drones though. Just keeps building more and more units. He's gonna get this base down. ShoWTimE is struggling to get anything out. I wouldn't mind seeing a mothership here coming out of ShoWTimE. Just getting that invisibility on top of your units makes the overseers way more important. Time Warp, of course, also a very powerful ability. And with the long range of these lurkers, just having something that makes your unit invisible can be kind of great. 7 Templars here in this army. 7 Disruptors. That's a lot of splash here. There's 12 lurkers left. Here comes the storm. Here comes the storm. It's a Beatles song you guys have never heard. Here comes the storm. The Protoss edition. It's alright. Oh, I'm not quite sure if... Usually I always like counterattacking with this army, but at this point... Oh, Lambo! Huge move command error. Loses all of his lurkers for free here. 10 lurkers just went down. I was gonna say, if he just takes out this base and gets lurkers, he can probably just always keep counterattacking and just kind of semi-base trade, because this army is so powerful, especially after losing all of those lurkers. I think Lambo actually is very low on bank right now. That fight was not it. Vipers finally are out. Let's see what they can add of meaning in Lambo's army here. Moving forward, looking for a pool, looking for an abduct, perhaps even a blinding cloud. ShoWTimE not quite aware, right now is aware, tries to go for feedbacks. Oh, the dance between the Templar and the Viper is a very scary one. Lambo just keeps getting these run-bys in, by the way. That's so beautiful. Absolutely fabulous play. Magnificent rotations, and now Lambo is looking for a chase here. I'm not quite sure if he can chase into Disruptor Templar though. Oh, ShoWTimE is losing so much here. 19 workers going down. He's going for that far right side base. ShoWTimE still has a big army. Still has a powerful army. Doesn't quite have the mining though. Doesn't... I feel like Lambo probably needs to just keep pushing forward. Needs to be on the map. I think he can be on the map as long as he has Vipers somewhere around. Oh, beautiful transfuses. Lambo knowing exactly what he needs to do. One more transfuse perhaps on this bad boy. And he needs to spot this far right side base. Lambo rebuilding a hatchery. Gives him... Even though this right side hatchery might die again, it basically is an insurance policy. Because ShoWTimE's rotations always need to be big. Because lurkers can hold chokes relatively well. So the movement of ShoWTimE is around this ring. Which means if ShoWTimE wants to attack this base, he can't be attacking this base at the same time. It's impossible, doesn't have the money for run-bys anymore either. So even if Lambo will never mine from this base, just getting this base at this point is absolutely brilliant. It's a huge play. And it forces ShoWTimE to keep up the aggression there, while being unable to keep up aggression on his left side base. One thing he perhaps could do is send small, high-value units here to try to deal worker damage. Things like DTs, HTs in a prison, disruptors in a prison perhaps. All of these things could be helpful. And DT gets 2 worker kills and has to move out. Lambo actually pulling back his entire army for this, and as a result, yep, realizes even before he sees the army move out, he knows that this base is going to fall. ShoWTimE spots it, like, oh, I guess there never was a base there. This was a very high-level interaction. Lambo realizing that there were going to be consequences to his entire move towards the left side for a single DT. He realized it was sloppy and was like, okay, I can just cancel this. He'll probably rebuild it soon again, or maybe go towards this topside base. Also a possibility. I like that Lambo leaves a small portion of his army here. Burrows. ShoWTimE's looking for damage. Can he find the damage? Gets 2 lurkers. That's damage. Spire on the way as well here for Lambo. Still only on 57 workers. ShoWTimE is at 31. The problem with lurkers very often is that if you don't have anything to attack and there's just one area to defend for the Toss, it can be so difficult to attack into this. I mean, the Toss has a good defensive army, and this is a relatively poor offensive army if it's not already in position. This is a good army once it gets in position. So Lambo right now realizes he can't attack into this, and probably just wants to force his opponent to attack into this area right now. Lambo wants to pull his opponent out of position. I would have loved for 1 or 2 lurkers to walk in right here from towards this bottom side. From that bottom side, maybe even with 5-6 Hydras, an Overseer and 2 lurkers right now. Then you force the Protoss to truly split up his army, and this is not an army that's easy to split. Lambo, yep, this is a good move as well. ShoWTimE's army is not splittable, and ShoWTimE needs to go for the attack. A couple of units probably should be heading towards this base as well at the same time. It's not quite going to be the case. This is a run by. I do not approve of ShoWTimE. You do not have the money to rebuild these units. There's no Templar with this army. ShoWTimE's gonna leave a bunch of all of his Templar at home actually. There's a Zealot run by happening here on the left side. We have, well, nothing else here. That's it. This was a good trade for ShoWTimE, I think. ShoWTimE looked at that and said, hey, I can get some damage done here, and I can keep my base mining. ShoWTimE's just rebuilding some of these gateways. He doesn't need that much production anymore because he has no income. And now the income is pretty equal. ShoWTimE just needs to win one big fight here. And he can do that with this army. Storm. Very good Storm. Takes out 1 lurker. Doesn't risk anything because Vipers can't really abduct Templar. Templar, of course, outrange with the feedback. Can we get a Storm here on these lurkers? Hello? Disruptor shots coming in. 1, 2. Not quick enough with the Unburrow there is Lambo. Very tricky. 1 more Storm, 1 more... No. Lambo right now is feeling the heat for sure. He still has a crap ton of money in the bank. Taking that top left base as well. ShoWTimE is very aware of that. I love this army as well. Perhaps that could mean something later on in the game. Are Brute Lords right here a possibility? I think the answer might be yes. If Lambo can get to 7-8 Brute Lords, he might just win the game. But does he have the money? Does he want to invest the money into that? Is the question right now. I think the answer might just be no. Lambo can't be giving up positions like this for free though. Can be giving up positions for free like that. ShoWTimE too afraid to take out this army. I think Lambo can be moving this army forward. It's so difficult though for both players. Good abducts, 3 Archons down for basically free. Lambo still not quite maxed. Keeps 15 larvae available. Where are the Vipers though? 3 Vipers still remain. Where are they? They're getting some new energy. That means while they're getting new energy that these Disruptors have free play right now. 2 Lurkers go down. 1 Morphing Hydra goes down as well. But still a good overall trade here. ShoWTimE's going in. And he's going in for the kill here. This is the final mining base for Lambo. If that base goes down, there will be no extra gas. And sure, Lambo has a lot of minerals in the bank. And he has a big army. But like I said, ShoWTimE can be trading energy for units. If there's no mining anymore... Oh, good abducts here out of Lambo. Doesn't really get anything killed. No. Carrier will go down. Trades it for a lurker. Recall here. Oh, these Disruptors are dead. These Disruptors are just going to die. Lambo sees them. He smells them and says, hello. Oof. Loses a couple of Hydras, but is absolutely going to be fine with that trade. A lot of money in the bank here, by the way, for our good friend ShoWTimE. Lambo, once again, with a bit of a sloppy move command, will be losing a bunch of lurkers to these static defenses. But at this point, I'm not even sure if it's quite going to matter. Links are the only thing at this point Lambo can make. Links and queens. But the disruptor count is so small at this point that I don't even think that's going to be much of an issue. We still see a lot of gas income. And Lambo right now says, okay, you have actually nothing left. Do I need to do anything? I think the answer is going to be no. I don't think Lambo needs to do anything. I think Lambo can just sit back, relax, and whenever he gets attacked, go for a counter attack on this base. I think that's exactly what his plan is for now. Income actually is still relatively even. Look at the units lost. So close. Slightly in favor of Lambo, but just so slightly. About, what is that, 600 resources. That's very close. What has gone down this game? 54 lurkers, 49 hydras, and 85 roaches. 16 archons, 18 DTs, 121 zealots. These are big numbers, even for a 26-minute game. Not that much detection left either. Aggressive move out of Lambo. I like Vipers once again proving their worth, and now there is nothing left for ShoWTimE except Storm to deal with these lurkers, and these lurkers are in a good position. Potentially the Lightning Clouds could be very powerful here as well. Another move forward, and I'm loving it. Observer is being rebuilt. Is there still an observer with this army? There's one observer, but that is going to be it for the detection. We see a lurker surround coming in from the back as well, and Lambo is destroying ShoWTimE here at his final base, in the final stand. Storm's raining down on absolutely everything, and ShoWTimE is getting decent trades. Very even in resources now. Almost the same. The GG gets called as Lambo just managed to mine a little bit more this game. ShoWTimE has to concede. GG, well played. If you did enjoy this game, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. And hopefully I'll see you all next time for a new video. Bye bye.